Okay, welcome back. The Jodie Whittaker era is coming to a close, so we're going to take a look back on series 11 through 13, and we're gonna have a little discussion about which series were the best. So we each ranked the 3 series of the Jodie Whittaker era. Kernan, do you want to go ahead and let us know what you have as your least favorite?
Least favorite, very unpopular opinion. My least favorite is Series 12.
So I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I think it's really boring, man. In my personal opinion, I don't think there are very many good episodes at all. You have Nikola Tesla and the Timeless Children, and that's kind of it for me.
So no Spyfall, no Fugitive of the Jadoon.
I don't like Spyfall.
No,
Fugitive of the Jadoon was fine. Oh, Can You Hear Me? Can You Hear Me was pretty good. I like Can You Hear Me.
Okay,
But those are my three.
what about The Haunting of Villa Diodati though?
I really do not like that episode.
Wow.
It is boring. It is not entertaining. It is uninteresting. Those were all synonyms.
What about Ascension of the Cybermen?
Don't like that one. I don't like very many of these episodes. The story was fine with like the master. I guess I liked him. Sasha Dewan's incredible. Obviously. And I like the main like overall story, I guess. But a lot of the episodes just aren't good. That's kind of what it comes down to for me.
Okay. For me in last place, it's very difficult between second and third. And I may need to rewatch one of these series to be able to give my full opinions on it. But for right now, I'm putting Series 11 in third place. And it's really interesting the way this, or my opinion of this series at least, has grown. When Series 11 was first coming out, I was enjoying most of the episodes. But as a whole, the whole thing felt like a real, like, letdown, or like boring, as you would say. Because there was all this hype around this new era of the show, all this change that was happening. And it was the first time I was, like, really, like, watching the show as it was coming out. And the series completely lacked any sort of, like, central through line to the series. It was just a bunch of standalone episodes. Everyone really wanted that, like, build up to the finale, some sort of, like, you know, togetherness to it that made it feel more, like, important. Which is why when it was first airing, it was a real disappointment, I think, to a lot of people. But looking back on it now, it's kind of refreshing because of how disconnected it is, how it's just a series of standalone stories. The problem with that is that some of the standalone stories, especially when there's only 10 of them, are really not good. So they're like Saranga Conundrum, even Battle of Ranskor Kolos is just not a very good finale. Arrakis in the UK is not great, stuff like that. But it also has some really good episodes, I think. Yeah, it's a really interesting series to look back on and think about again because of how much, like, my opinion has changed. At one point, this would have been my least favorite series, I think. But now there's at least 2 or 3 below it for sure. Because it's just refreshing. It's got some good episodes in it. Man, a lot of words just came out of me.
Yeah, that was a paragraph. I felt like I was falling asleep. In second place, I have Flux. It's good middle ground.
Okay, yes, I'm with you on that.
It's not because I don't like it. It's because I do really like Flux, not as much as I like the one ahead of it.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's very, like, I need to watch it all the way through again for sure.
Same.
But I don't know, because I can point to individual episodes like War of the Sontarans, Village of the Angels, that were really phenomenal. That's why I'm saying it was so close between putting this in third and Series 11. Because I think the overall story, when you have a series that's all one story like this, it really needs to be good for it to work at all for you, right? And I still am, like, confused by it. It didn't make sense. Things didn't add up. I just don't think it was done very well.
The thing with Flux is, it was one big story. It felt, like, a bit hollow for some reason, I guess. And that's, I think, because, I don't know, there wasn't much to it. I wanted it to be tied together with, like, a very strong rope, okay? Are you following? But it was tied together with, like, a thin string instead. So things were still hanging out, things were loose, things were falling apart a bit.
And there's a lot of, like, things I'm still so confused about that, which is, again, I have to watch it again. But right now, I still appreciate, like, War of the Sontarans is genuinely great. So is Village of the Angels. The Halloween Apocalypse is pretty good. But Once Upon a Time Survivors of the Flux. Those episodes just feel so like cluttered and like confusing. When I think back on them, so I'll have to rewatch them again. But
Yeah.
it was still a satisfying experience. It was just I wanted the story to be stronger.
Yeah, I feel the same. My number one is Series 11. Very much so because it is just really fun. I think a lot of the episodes, if they're not great, I'll admit that this series doesn't have like great episodes, at least not a lot of them. But if they're not great, then they're really fun. They're fun episodes. And the characters, I'm not going to say the characters are great, but the characters are enjoyable. Like, they're enjoyable. It's just, like you said, it's refreshing. Because it's not big and huge, and it doesn't have to be this, like, huge, very important thing. It's just a nice series.
I mean, I agree with you on that. I think, again, you didn't watch that series as it was actually airing, did you? You watched it after?
Yeah.
So I think that also might have a factor in it. Just because you were able to, like, just binge the episodes and watch each one. Whereas, like, we were, like, waiting on a weekly basis for, like, the story to develop.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll obviously know by process of elimination. In first place, I have Series 12. And I think this is just a really great series. It's top of my list. It's up there. Not, like, top, but it's up at the top for sure. Because pretty much every episode, other than Orphan 55, and maybe Praxeus, is great, in my opinion. I think so.
You think...
Praxeus is average, for sure. Timeless Children, I'm still, like... I still don't know where I stand on that. But everything else. Spyfall, Parts 1 and 2, Nikola Tesla's Night of Terror, Fugitive of the Jadoon, Can You Hear Me, Haunting of Il Diodati, Ascension of the Cybermen. Great episodes.
No, wrong. Incorrect.
This series, like, definitely, like, reinvigorated my Doctor Who, like, interest.
Yeah.
Like you said, Seshidoan, the Master, is great. The Cybermen are brought back. The Lone Cyberman. The Fugitive Doctor, I'm still waiting for that to be resolved in some other way. Because I need answers with that too. Like, I'm not sure where I fall on that. And then, it does a really great job of building towards this timeless child thing and stuff like that. And the answer was super predictable, which, I mean, everyone saw that coming. But I still don't know where I stand on the actual timeless child, like, twist. Because I see where everyone's coming from with all the opinions on it. And I'm still super conflicted about it. Because, like, I get the argument that it makes the Doctor too important. Like, the Doctor is, like, this, like, chosen one, like, God now. Which isn't really what the character is supposed to be, I think. And especially since, like, not much has really been done with it yet. There was this whole search for the division and stuff like that. But the fact that the Doctor's genetics is the basis of all of Time Lord society has had, like, no effect on anything so far. It's just, like, that's the truth now. But other than just the confliction on how I feel about the twist, The Timeless Children is actually a really good episode, I think. So,
Agreed.
it's just, I just think it's a really good series altogether.
Alright.
In conclusion, then, we will have to wait and see what happens in these last two episodes, because that could totally change opinions on certain things, for me at least, with the certain, like, things that have been left open to figure out still. But yeah, this has been a very interesting 3 seasons of Doctor Who.
Everyone gives Chibnall too hard of a time, but we're gonna look back at this in like 5 years' time, and we're gonna be like, he's really good. And we learn now that RTD, he actually kind of sucks. I don't like RTD. I'll fight him. I'll do it. Come at me. I'm not afraid of you.